Nimekuwa nikitumia tangu daraba sijui.
Imagine 30 minutes. It's Africa 12:38.
Huwezi wewe wenyewe ndio kile. Ndio mwingine kitu. Kile wako kwa.
Wait. Mwingine ataandika I said.
Kama tukutane Sunday in the evening, can you inform us that alafu then we'll do that?
Haya.
Okay. Now, I know we are ready.
Yes.
I want again to welcome all of us for the assembly. 68, those who are present in the out of 1,000, that is 10%, it is fair enough. And then we shall do very brief present. I don't know whether the student president is around. Is the president in? The president not in?
I don't think so. Yes.
Any is around? None. Beatrice Nayanoi, you are around. Mute and say hi to the members.
I'm here.
Beatrice Nayanoi, where are you? Is not able to speak. Who else? None. Then I can speak to my officer. Joshua. Cheruiyot, are you around?
In.
Who?
Collins is, sir.
Oh,
Yes.
Collins is in. Yeah, where is the president?
Yes.
And speak on behalf of the president. So
Yes,
one of
I
you,
can.
I think we Collins 1 minute and this 1 minute. So let's begin with Collins.
How are you, everyone? Yeah, we thank God this far. At least we can see each other once again. We can see each other. So I want to welcome you to, and let's concentrate and God will tell us. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Now, Beatrice. Yeah, Beatrice, it's your turn.
Okay. Do you
Yeah.
just yeah. Send to the principal, and I wish you a nice meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Joshua, maybe we'll begin with presentation by Joshua Cheruiyot. If you are in, please, it's your turn. Hey, Joshua Cheruiyot. As we wait for Joshua Cheruiyot to be ready, maybe we have the Deputy Principal, Mr. Keter.
Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone.
You, sir.
Hope you can hear me.
Yes.
Now, on behalf of Deputy Principal Administration, he is away on official duty, and he has tasked me actually to present or give a brief message from his office. Sorry?
Mr. Joshua, can you remove the echo?
Hello?
Or you can unmute yourself. Eh?
Has the echo now?
Yes, you. Wow. Where is your? Can you request to be unmuted? You are in Azu? Wow. Joshua, unmute yourself.
Hello, sir. I hope I can be heard.
You are in Azu so that I can allow you to. The others have been coming on and off. Okay, I can see you.
Mr. Joshua Cheruiyot,
So.
just allow me a few minutes. Please, I've sent you a text message. Allow me a few minutes.
Okay. Josh, as we wait for Joshua, can we, Mr. Keter? I think Joshua is presentation. Mr. Keter? Mr. Keter? Wow. Now, who is ready for presentation? Alpina?
Yes, that's all.
Hello?
Hello.
We are waiting for you.
Oh, okay. Good afternoon. Good afternoon,
Sawa.
everyone. So
Good afternoon, madam.
Yes, I'm going to present on the open protocols. So The government monitor the COVID-19 curve for the next 14 days. And if the curve flattens, that is below 5%, then the Minister for Education and the President will now declare the opening date. From there, the principal will notify all the students on when they are supposed to open. That is the dates they are going to open the college. The opening of the institute will then be done in phases, starting with dates. So expect the March series candidates to come first, followed by the July series, and then the November series, in that order. On opening of the college, or during opening, testing will be done for COVID-19. It will be carried out for all the students and the staff, teaching and non-teaching. The for testing will now be communicated, will be communicated by the government. So I think that's all I have for today. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam. I think that is a bit clear. In other words, before anybody asks when are we opening, we wait for the minister to, the president to declare. And then when we declare, then we will do that procedurally. Naomi will be able to explain more on who comes when. Now, the next center. Thank you very much, Madam. And maybe you'll be around so that in case there are questions want to ask, we'll be able to request for you to respond to them. So maybe we go to the next presenter. And we requested everybody to mute their speakers unless you are presenting. Gilbert Kipkoech Ngetich, Josephat, let's mute. Now, Mr. Oh, opening schedule by who? Madam Naomi. Are you the one on the screen?
Yes.
Okay, proceed.
So I will present the opening schedule. Ureti Technical Training Institute. So from what you've heard, Madam Alpina said that opening
Madam Naomi, you are muted. You are now okay.
I was saying, as you've heard from Madam Alpina, that reopening will depend upon the directives from the government. For us, upon reopening, the college might consider the following. We shall open in shifts or in phases. That means that depending per department or per course or per study, the students shall be alerted accordingly so that they know to report for reopening. Then our classes shall alternate because there are some classes that are bigger in size. So we might split some classes to reduce the size so that we can manage and also consider the COVID-19 protocols, that is physical and social distancing. The college, all of us are also expected to the COVID-19 protocols or regulations. The students are expected to observe physical or social distancing among themselves, must wear masks, properly at all times in college or outside. We shall be expected to regularly wash our hands or sanitize. As we know, the college is under preparations to make sure that we have enough hand washing places and enough sanitization. The following are also expected from the students. You are expected to avoid handshaking among yourselves and also avoid uncontrolled gatherings. You know, you can be, you can in gatherings that are not necessary, so ask to avoid such gatherings. And also in college, there are directions. We have exit and entrance directions. We are expected to observe, only use exit where necessary and entrance where necessary. There are arrows all over in college that will guide you to do that. The chairs, that is the lecture chair, and plastic chairs are arranged to adhere to the COVID-19 protocol, is 1.5 meters apart. You are encouraged not, you are advised not to move those chairs, leave them as they are, sit, and then as you stand, just leave the chair the way it is. Do not move the chairs. You are also expected to know your contacts, that is friends, for easy tracing of anything. And then you'll also be required to provide your parents or guardians' contacts in case of anything while you are in college. The college will also carry out small assemblies from time to time. It will be done in small numbers, so we'll not be having big gatherings. Then it will be there will be no sharing of tools in the workshops for those who are doing practicals. So for example, the students who are supposed to sit for neck, you know that you'll be the first to be considered to be back in college. Try to have your tools. Of course, the rest of the materials and the equipment that are normally provided shall be provided, but as a student, you know that there are tools that you must have. So there'll be no sharing, we shall not encourage that. So you have your own tools, practicals. Actually, the college is considering online classes for business courses. The college will try to work out that. If it will work, then the business courses, online classes. But for technical courses, the logistics of practical, we shall consider one-on-one classes. So far, that is what we are preparing for you. We encourage you to observe the COVID-19 protocols as we prepare for reopening, as will be advised by the government. Thank you very much. Mr. Principal, I'm done, but I am not able to hear.
Here I am.
Okay.
Now there are some members of who are not muting. Hey.
Mr. Principal, give the post to someone else so that he can be able to mute them.
No, we are muting everybody. You know, as we mute them, they open. We mute, they open. We mute, they open. So I've now muted everybody without an option of coming back. Thank you very much, Madam Naomi. for being with us and for the presentation. I'll now request to come on board on to give us a brief on our prayers. Joshua. Joshua, you are on. Joshua, can you hear us? Joshua?
Yes, hello, can I be heard?
Yes. Proceed.
Okay, thank you very much. Just to echo what Madam Naomi has already shared, my side is just to present on preparedness, what we have already done so far. And I wanted to share the PowerPoint from the laptop. So I hope to be on in just in a little while, so that you can be able to see in pictorial view what exactly entails or what we've already done as an institution. Also realize that not everything has been captured, but we've captured the little able to do. So first, even as I go to present, I would like first of all to thank the facilitator. What we've been able to do so far, and even to be lauded by the nation in the CS, actually has been through the efforts of the principal, the motivation, the provision of all that we needed, and also the deputies. So, and the collaboration of the COVID response team that was formed in order to contact and spearhead the preparation for the opening of the college. So far, there are a number of things. As you heard from Naomi's presentation, there are a number of regulations that we need to follow. We actually call them policies. And out of that, we shall be having specific rules, of which some already are in place, which shall guide us, or we shall be doing and operating.
Yeah, you're off.
We used to hug each other and do all that kind of things, but now we have to do things differently. I do all these things and just our safety. So, this presentation is opening. And I just around the colleges, we'll see review once we be able to see them practically. So at the gate, we have stationed water washing or which will enable us to before we get into the college. Also, once we get into the college, we have also other water points where we'll be washing our hands. And so, just as was mentioned, posters which keep reminding us of what we need to be observing as far as our interaction at the college is concerned. And the first and foremost is the wearing of masks, which will be mandatory within the college. So at no point shall we so that is the that we have at the moment. And I believe all of us will be able to adhere to that and understand. We should all practice when we come out of classes, when we come from, so we shall let you know. Even the rooms will be cleaned, just to. I'm almost there. So as that happens, yes, I mean, thank you. So I'm sharing the present.
Hello, Joshua. You're not able to share on the screen.
I'm sharing.
Yeah, started screen. Yeah, good.
Thank you. Let me mute the Zoom on the phone.
Joshua, you're muted.
Sorry, I was on mute. Okay. Yeah, I hope it's okay now. So this is a Bure Technical COVID Response Team Progress Summary Report. Just as I told you, this is in line to help us prepare for reopening. So I'll just be brief because I've spent much time in speaking. So at the gate, as you can see, so this has been developed with the spearheading of the principal and those who have been working on this project. Indeed, it is a good project, as you can see. So here we have once you arrive at the gate, there is this sanitizer. Sorry. So it is a pedal one, means that you have to put your foot and press it using your foot. So you take the sanitizer, you go to any of these washing dishes or trays, and you're able to wash your hands. So you also have to step on it, okay? That is using your foot as well. And that is what you are required to do at the gate. So as you can see, that helps us to wash our hands. So it is actually a must, and that's at the gate. Yes, as you can see, some of the workers and those around are washing their hands there, as you can see, before they get in. And then once you have to, as you can see, to the left side, and to the right side, you have to take also temperature test. So all that will be required of us once we get in. Even those who have motor vehicles, as you can see, they have to do the same. And also at individual level, that's what will be happening. So you have to sanitize, and you see even during sanitization, there is the keeping social distance, as you can see. And then, so that was the outer gate or the main gate. Now, also just mentioning this is that we have already fenced the entire compound. So we have only 2 entry points as I almost knew of the panya routes. So the panya routes are all sealed. So we'll have to use main gate. So that is to ensure that all of us go through the gate and do or follow all these protocols that are required. Then when you come to the inner gate, okay, so there is this project that has been set up. So it is being experimented, spearheaded by the principal still, and it is meant to run on solar, so to recycle the water, so that instead of us using the water and the water just flows into waste, it can be recycled and be reused again. Of course, after undergoing a series of treatment so that it be safe again for use. So still, it provides water, so you can click that point. We are using the pedal dispenser, as you can see that one doing. Then also at the hospitality complex, we have also the same. So you are supposed to clean as you enter that point. So these ones are the internal ones. Maybe you've gone to other places, you've tried surfaces, so you can always do that. And then now we come to social distancing in lecture rooms. The chairs have been placed at least 1.5 meters apart with the marking around them. So I know maybe the markings may not be visible, but you can see dark spots. In the classrooms, some still have the tape, the red tapes. So those are the markings that we are having right now. Chairs remain in that position. As Madam Naomi was saying, that you don't move the chair. So this to ensure that where the chair was placed remains there. Okay, so that's what has been so far. So on movements, which are to facilitate social distancing, as we can see, the floors have been marked and the directions indicated, as you can see, even to the doorstep. So that is to show that this is an entry. Along the corridors on this other side, you see we have two ways. Okay, to the right side, arrows going towards the other side. To the left side, arrows coming this way. So that means that if you are going the other way, then side. If you are coming this way, then use the left side. In between, there's at least a space around 1.5 or thereabout, because our corridor is also small, to ensure we are not touching or we are not coming in contact with each other. So still, those are what we are seeing there, movement and directions around classes, as you can see. We have also this ramp to the right. So this will be our main entrance as we are going upstairs. So we'll be using the ramp as our entry point. So we need to know that even as we come. So our exit points will be the stairs. Okay, so our exit points will be the stairs, as you can see indicated there. So we need to know the entry point, the ramp, and the exit point, the stairs. Now, posters also have been placed, which will facilitate communication of health protocols and also give specific course of actions. So, for example, those two, one of them says that we wear a mask, the other one says that we need to keep our social distance, and I believe that is well elaborated. So these are the principal secretary's desk area where this is indicated. Then also another one says you must wear a mask. So remember that is a must. If you are not used to, because I know we are at home where people don't wear masks, but remember that when we come to college, that would be a must. So if you are not planning to have a mask, please begin preparing this early. Then also we have a sanitization point. This is automated, so it is fitted with batteries. So you just place your hand beneath the sanitizer, or the liquid just flows to your hand, and you're able to sanitize your hand by rubbing the two hands together. So this has been placed at the end point to the administration block. So, and it is not only this one, there are several of them around, but this is just a sample with that poster just to show you that you sanitize there. So we have other posters at the customer care area, so still indicating the same. Now we have isolation rooms that have been set aside to ensure that we meet the standards that have been already placed. So there's an isolation room for men. So that's the door. So in case you are a suspected case, so this way you will enter. And remember, when you talk about isolation room, we should remember that we need to have that with caution, so that we do not discriminate anyone who is taken into the room, because that is where you receive the attention in order to be taken care of before other actions are taken.
So, and remember, all of this is just to help each and every one of us to be safe and to be well. So isolation rooms are very good. So inside the isolation rooms, as you can see, so they have been made very nice. So I believe any of us taken there will be very comfortable. In fact, you'll be just like at home, so you relax and you'll be helped. So that is it, as you can see. So this is for the ladies isolation room. Now, I think that ends the presentation. It was just, I know there are other things that have not been captured, such as the making of water dispensers. Actually, that has been really done greatly, and the college has been able to supply also to other colleges through the working of the principal and the deputies. So we are really thankful for the progress that we have made so far. There are other things that we can say, but for the sake of time, let me stop there. Thank you very much. Thank you, each and every one of you.
Thank you very much, Joshua, for the presentation and for being able to elaborate quite a number of things. I want to thank the presenters at the moment because of their presentations, despite the very short notice. It was a good presentation, both Madam Naomi, Madam Alpina, and Mr. Cheruiyot. Now, before I take up my slot, I would wish to request Mr. Keter to do some presentation. Mr. Keter.
Okay. So good afternoon, everyone. I hope you are getting me.
Yes,
Good afternoon,
quite clear.
Yes. Yeah, sorry?
Clear,
I
clear.
Okay. I wish to inform the members that so far we are having some expectations. And some of the expectations now that we expect the students to have is, first of all, to observe the Ministry of Health protocols. And that is now going to be our new normal life in the college. And in this case, therefore, there are laid out regulations for the institutions, which includes the observations of the certain measures which have been put in place as you enter the institution. In this case, therefore, the first thing, once somebody is at the gate, is expected to observe the instructions or the note of the instructions given by the personnel there, which includes taking, sanitizing your hands or washing at that point. Also, ensuring that you leave your details with you. So also those ones who are close to you, that is the next of kin. All the details required that they be recorded. Now, we have also put in place certain measures in terms of the use of the materials within the college, which are meant to reduce the impact of spread of COVID-19. This includes the use of soap, sanitizers, and other equipments, including the sanitizers, as you have been informed earlier. Now, there will be restrictions once you are actually in the college. Some of which is that we have actually allocated classes to a particular rooms. So the particular classes will be taking their classes in those classes all the time. And in the workshop, there are also, so those are actually what the staff also will be taking care of the protection of the college. In other words, we are going to have only one entrance, which is the main gate. But if need be, already plans to have gate B constructed. So this is actually anticipated that before long we have this facility serving those residents from the other side of the compound. Otherwise, we are going to have only 200 points. The gate A, which is the one that we have been using, and then gate B for the other side of the college. Now, we shall also ensure that we have sanitizers in every class. Before you get into a class, there will be a sanitizer. Also, other places like toilets, among others, and also amphitheater and other facilities. So, apart from that, when it comes to games, we are actually encouraging students, and everybody else will be taking games, to only take the games which are of minimum contact. And this is as per the recommendations of the Ministry of Culture and Sports, for which we have we participated also in giving our suggestions, and that one is already upcoming. We are going to use the public health officers to guide one is suspected of any suspected case of the virus. That is why there is isolation room. And finally, I want to say that we have intention that we shall have running water at all times. We shall have running water at all times to ensure that we have enough water. But what is our view is that you take care of those equipment. I think with that far, I want to stop at that because most of what I would have prepared has been outlined by my colleague. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Keter. Thank you very much for the presentation. Now, at that juncture, I'll want to briefly open the few questions. I don't know how to raise the hands using the system. There are some, kuna vitu inaitwa hapo reactions or something like that. So you raise your hand and then I'll be able to allow you to ask a question. If there are any questions, that is Kelvin Cheruiyot. Yes, Kelvin, you unmute and proceed.
Yes, sir. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Thank you for the opportunity, sir.
Hey, mepotea kidogo. Kelvin, we can't hear you.
Are you getting me?
You are on and off. You are off. Maybe somebody else as Kelvin source the mic. Any other person? Yes, Cheruiyot Dominic. Cheruiyot Dominic.
Yes. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening to you. Afternoon, yeah.
Yeah. Good afternoon, by the way.
Yeah, proceed.
It's not a question, but it's a comment. I want to say thank you. Those guidelines that you have given us, they are good. And for the record, I've seen that you are ready to open and to prepare for and you.
Wow.
Using your assistance. So to be ready, bravo for everything that you have done. I have a friend of mine who is doing almost the period. We have been following the conversation throughout.
Thank you. Thank you. I think you are on and off. Maybe we can try also.
Everything.
Okay. Karibu. Beatrice? Beatrice Nasimoi. Beatrice has raised the hand. Cannot talk. Anybody with a question or something to be cleared or explain?
Yes,
Or
sir.
yes, you're back.
Yes, I'm back. I'm sorry for the hiccup. I was raising the issues as we were being given the presentations. We realized that she talked about online studies. Hello?
Yes. Yeah, we can hear you.
And then about the online studies, it was clarified that it will be a business category to have the online studies, unlike the technical category. Yeah. And my question is, will the online studies be made like the usual classes, or how will they be made? And another thing is about the toilets. I'm concerned about the newly created, newly constructed toilets. For the men, we had some issues with the urinal, and we are much more concerned about health, especially with those toilets there. Things about the games. Mr. Principal, we heard that we were supposed to hold the, was it the regionals or the for the games in this year? Unfortunately, the timeline, we are out of the timeline. Can you please tell us the way forward about the games? Thank you.
Karibu, thank you very much.
I'm sorry. I'm saying one thing. It was about the TVET fairs. I understand that we currently cannot hold the social gatherings. Can the TVET fairs be made available for the online assessments, please? That's it. Thank you, sir.
Welcome. Next person. Brian.
Okay, Mr. Principal. Thank you for the opportunity, but I'd like to ask, what about the boardings?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Principal.
Just a minute. Just a minute, Beatrice.
Mr. Principal.
Boarding.
I was asking.
Yes. Yeah, I've got a new boarding. Yeah, boarding. Sasawa. Nimekusikia.
Yeah.
Naisimoi.
Okay, thank you. It is the same question, that will there be room for the boarding student, or maybe because of the COVID, there will not be room for that. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other question, maybe before we respond? Yeah, if there's none, I will maybe request my colleagues maybe to, if they can pick one or two, then I can handle the balance. Or maybe they were not picking. Now, Mr. Dominic gave bravo. Thank you very much for that. Kelvin is inquiring about online classes. Will they be like usual classes? The urinals for men, and then ball games, TVET fairs, and Nayanoi, they were asking about boarding facilities. Now, the online classes, we are working on them. As we speak, the staff, we have trainers who are undergoing training on conducting and running online classes, virtual. It is not so new a thing for us in life. I think it has been there. And the online classes, we have two different types of online classes: virtual classes where students are in class and the lecturer is away. But this other case is where the lecturer is in class and the students are away because of the social distance. The students are not supposed to gather. And the main reason we're talking of business classes is we are trying to decongest the institutions because we want what we call social distance. And with social distance, it implies we have to sit 1.5 meters apart, which implies the classrooms are not enough. So what we have agreed, and the minister has actually cleared it, he has elaborated clearly in several locations. I think I've posted a few clips from the minister, that those who can study from home, let them study from home. Those who must come to college, they come in phases. So we are working on that. Edwin, please, Lord, I don't want to remove you. Edwin Kipkirui. Then the next thing is about the urinals. The urinals are being worked on. The urinals, we are supposed to have social distance, whether you are in the toilet or in the classroom. So the urinals will be different because we are redoing them to have social distance for the gents. For the ladies, I think are okay, apart from the hand washing points, which we are also improving on. And then the functioning of the systems, which we will have to come and agree when we come together. We are also trying to increase the washrooms. We are putting up some new toilets in the neighborhood of the hospitality, which we are hoping they will be ready. Initially, we are planning to have them ready by 15th of November, not November, but 15th of December. And additional classrooms also are in place. Now, games, hosting of ball games and TVET fairs. Ball games are not being hosted. We are not going to host the ball games because there is no more social distance. So that one will remain until further notice. And then TVET fairs, there's that one, the planning is in progress. We are trying to plan on how we can have distance virtual TVET fairs. Currently, Harvest is been doing one, and then from there we will be able to see whether it can be borrowed. Now, boarding is a challenge. One, we have discussed with the ministry. We are trying to see whether we are how we can organize for food to be prepared from within the institution. But we are not able to control outside there. So we might suspend boarding until we are able to make our own food. And that's when we can continue with the boarding facility. Now, sleeping does not affect only boarders, even the day scholars. We are talking with the community, and we shall continue talking with them because we are supposed to have social distance even in the hostels, even in the rooms which you are renting, because we are expected to have some social distance everywhere, protocol everywhere. So the places where we have been sleeping 5, 6, 7, we will be required to sleep 1 or 2 people in a room. If you want to share a room, then you must be coming from the same background, and therefore you take social responsibility together. And those are the things which we will have in place when we resume. Now, I don't know whether there is still somebody who wanted to ask a question. I was seeing a lot of hands going up.
Yes, sir. I forgot to ask one thing.
Who is speaking?
Kelvin Cheruiyot, DICTS 18.
Okay.
we had those the issue that forced us to close, and then it was until further notice. We went. There are some of our colleagues that got job opportunities in various. Is that one going to be handled? Thank you.
Derek. Derek, you want to ask a question? Yes?
Yes, I wanted to ask.
Yes, continue. Continue, Derek.
Okay. There will be in phases the classes. And the theory part of the technical courses, some of them can be the practicals, those who are
Okay. Finally, Airtel, I don't know your name, so I cannot allow you to speak because you don't know who you. And I think from there, let me respond to. I give my closing remarks. Reopening, we have two things. One is we were supposed to open with exam. That is still the position. When we open, we will open the way we were supposed to at the beginning. So we will begin with internal exams, then proceed on from there. And as far as done, after the training and the discussion being done nationally, with a resolution on how to handle theory classes. As the deputy had indicated, some will be in shifts, others will be full-time, others will. Those things will be put in place, and everybody will be able to be together informed properly. Now, on my part, I want to thank all of you for taking this meeting. At least we topped on 80 participants. Some people are not in. It does on how fairly well we are prepared. Because if we were to say, for example, we want online classes, it will be the same challenge we are having now because we are invited almost 700 of us. And out of 700, we are around 80. So it's only 10% who are able to join. But we are going to encourage most of us to be digital and to embrace technology. Change is inevitable. Now, I want to also thank the staff. Some of the staff are with us here. We have been able to do the best we can to prepare. And for those of you who have been following social media, we were among the first to be whether it's not approved, but to be up for how prepared well or and green lights and ready status to open. And we were followed by the powerful giants later at BTTI Technical, Nyeri National Polytechnic, Eldoret National Poly. I think today they are inspecting harvest as we speak now. And I want to thank the staff for that. Now, it is a challenge when you come in here for us to maintain the status. What is going to happen is, since it's not a protocol, will be closed. So we might open and close within 1 week if we don't well. But since we want to open and proceed well, doing these short discussions and explaining so that we have all the protocols in place. We are doing our best. We will ensure that we have enough water points at the gate so that you don't queue. We have enough thermal guns in all workshops as we speak. They are there. We are going to ensure that you have sanitizers in every room, and we have plenty of water for you to wash your hands. We are going to ensure that they have enough chairs for you to sit without sharing as much as possible. And we expect all the students to follow the protocols. You wash your hands, put on mask, keep social distance, and whenever you have any symptoms, you report immediately to the officers in charge. We are going to have a nurse in place who will be taking care of us. Hopefully, and we are praying that we will be able to do that. I want also to request that when you are at home, take care of yourselves. We want you all back to college at the end of the day. It was unfortunate. We have lost a few of our parents, and we have also lost one of our students from Tebesonic who was taking ICT. She had a long illness, and she succumbed to a lot of issues, complications, and we did our best. But as we normally say, God has his own plans. We do our best as human beings. And we want to say Pole. We said Pole to the family. I want to say Pole to the friends who are here. And finally, there was a question which was asked, which about those who have gotten jobs. We still use the same protocol. If you have gotten a good job and you want to maintain the job, you defy your program, you apply deferment. If you don't defy your program, then it will not be good for you. It will be very difficult to come back. We will also be introducing in future what we call holiday programs for those who want to progress and work at the same time. That will apply the way our staff are also working as they are training. Otherwise, I think briefly that is the much I have. Unless there is a real burning question, I'll take only 2, maximum 3. Okay, 3. Now this fellow called A33, can you talk? Although I don't know your name. Yeah, next time you put your name. Endelea. Endelea. Now we can't hear you.
I'm saying.
Yes.
About the ongoing registration, sir.
Yes.
Most of my class haven't having the smartphone.
Now, ongoing registration, if you don't have a smartphone, you go to the cyber. You have been applying for help loans. You have been doing many things online. So please, do your best to ensure that you are there. Now, the problem is here. We don't have your index numbers. We don't have your telephone numbers. We don't have most of your details. And we are filling forms to apply for capitation for you. You don't fill them, you don't get capitation. You don't get capitation, you pay the fees. And these things, you are able to do them. Ukiwa una simu ile inaweza fanya, omba your neighbor and you'll be able to do it. You don't have a neighbor with a phone, then go to the cyber. You don't go have a cyber, come to college. So, nafikiri tutafanya hiyo. Now, Brian. Brian.
For giving me this opportunity.
Oliano. Wow.
Thank you, Mr.
Yeah, your system is not working. Brian? Brian, we can't hear you. Pole. We can't hear you. Brian, you can defer the course. If you have registered with NEC, you cannot defer because NEC has taken the money. So you'll have to come and do the exams. And then doing exams, even if you are employed, you just ask for leave for 3 months, 3 weeks, and you come and do your exams and go back. Techno Kilbat Kibet Cheruiyot, that is the last person. You can ask your question.
Okay, Mr. Principal, I wanted to want to ask a question what that's Mr. Barnabas what Mr. Barnabas want to ask.
Oh, you wanted to ask what Barnabas asked?
Yes.
So you are okay. Enoch, we can't hear you properly.
Okay, I was saying I wanted to ask when will be the deadline?
Now, the registration online is continuous. We are submitting the next list of students next week. The problem is if you continuously miss, then you will miss capitation.
Okay.
So it is continuous. When we admit new students, they will also fill in and it will continue. So I think, thank you very much. Now, in future, we will reorganize another assembly. Hopefully your colleagues will be able to join and we shall try to improve. We hope that we will be able to do it within 1 hour. Why I chose 1 hour is because if you are using a phone and the bundles in Akusumbua, then you can look for 50 bob. Alafu buy tunukiwa 2 Mbps, 2 GB, okay, whatever, the 2 gigabytes, and then you'll be able to run. Otherwise, with all those many remarks, I want to say thank you. I think we will end the meeting there. Those who still have bundles, you can chat. I'll leave the room for you to chat. You will open, you can unblock, but no obscene language. We have another principal. Oh, there's another principal here. I don't know who it is. Maybe they'll tell us. Tutaongea naye siku ingine. That is Mr. Bet. Sawa. So thank you very much. Can we all unmute the phones, then we can say the grace. I am allowing everybody to unmute and then we say the grace. Kila mtu fungua yako, kila mtu. Almost everybody. Yeah, bado kuna wengine akina Hilary Cheruiyot, Koech.
And the love of God and the fellowship of the Holy Spirit with us now and forevermore.
Amen. Thank you very much. Asanteni.
Thank you.